What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another reaction. BKB Reacts. Today we got Isaac Hayes versus Deuce Hunt. Not gonna lie to you, I don't really know who Deuce Hunt is, but I've heard of Isaac Hayes before. Last year he played against I don't know. I forgot, to be honest, but he played against Beckham Black probably. He played against Beckham Black, and I think his team took the W. And a lot of people were talking about, oh, you don't know who Isaac Hayes is. I still don't know who Isaac Hayes is, man. I'm gonna be real with you. This man hasn't really popped off in my eyes, and he's not mainstream, which isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad thing that you're not a mainstream hooper because that doesn't make the expectations really go high for you. And that could be a blessing in disguise. Like Isaac Hayes, if he was maybe 6'5" and he was mainstream, oh, this guard, shifty guard, this, that, the third, it's going to raise the expectations for him. They're going to think that guy is going to be like LaMelo Ball or something, right? And sometimes that's just not the right thing that you should be thinking about when you're a player. Sometimes you need to go under the radar, and that's why I appreciate, these underrated players. And I'm not making these videos, once again, not to hate on these players, but if you know anything about basketball or life in general, it's that you always gotta learn. And people when people pointed out, it's not really a personal attack towards that person. It's you being able to understand and listen to them without being offended, right? So that's gonna separate the good and the great at the end of the day. But yes, I don't really know who Isaac Hayes is still, but I'm always open to look at these new players, especially like Deuce Hunt. I don't really know who he is, but he plays at Duncanville, a very well respected high school program for basketball. So it should be a good game, and let's get right into it. You know, things could always happen. You can move up 6 rankings in 30 minutes. This low-key looks like the JV team though. Like what? Hold up. Actually, before we even get into it, I want to know a little bit more about Deuce Hunt because, I have to have some context on these players before. Deuce Hunt. Deuce Hunt. So he is point guard. He's 6 feet, 165 pounds. He's under, you know, so he has offers from East Texas A&M, Kansas State, McNeese, New Mexico State, and Sam Houston. I'm pretty sure these are all, you know, D1. Let me take a look at Isaac Hayes' rankings just to make sure. So Isaac Hayes is 5'9", 160 pounds, class of 27. So it looks like they are juniors. Cal State Bakersfield, Jackson State, Kansas State. So these are, players that have somewhat of a, you know, recruiting history already. So, they're going to bring the energy. Passing it out. I don't. Sheesh, that's tough. That shot looked like that's a hot Pettiford type of shot. A lot of ball movement. One team looks like they got full sophomores. One team looks like they got like everybody under the sun. Nice pass. Can't even lie to you. Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not messing with that one leg sleeve, bro. It's low key crazy, bro. It doesn't it doesn't fit the vibe to me. Sheesh. Nice attack though. Always start off the game attacking. Don't be passive. You know, you gotta do what's right for the team, and that's attacking. If you're definitely the main player, right? You don't want to be too passive, or else your team's not gonna get anything going. Tough. I like that pass. You got to finish. This is good execution. Once you blow by, you have to look at your options. He knows his big is gonna get an open shot because defender is helping, and he got blocked from behind, but that's because the big was too slow to get there. I'm not gonna put that on him. Whoa. Oh man. Basketball 101. All right. This is the most basic play that any high school will run when you have a baseline out of bounds. This is probably the first play that everybody learns. All right. The big is going to pop out. All right. You're going to have somebody from the wing get the ball, and it's going to come back for the shooter coming from the corner. All right. The passer is going to come from the corner, and he's going to try to get open shot. But the big right here, you can't just be a robot out on the court, you know? You have to be aware. Like, you just can't throw a pass mindlessly. If it's not there, don't throw the pass. All right? You can tell in this situation that the big just thought the pass was going to open. He barely looked and he just threw it, you know? You got to be able to see if the pass is open or not. Don't just run the play mindlessly and have a turnover like this. All right. See if it's open. If it's open, pass it. If it's not open, you got to do something else. And this is probably going to lead to easy two. Yeah. So don't play like a robot out there on the court, bro. Now that pass was a little weird. It was a little wonky. I ain't gonna lie to you. Tough layup. Very awkward finisher right there, but he still got it to go in. I can't even blame this on Isaac Hayes really, because he's a smaller defender. There's not much you can do. If there's somebody driving, the best you can do is slide your feet. And he does slide his feet right there. It's just he didn't slide him quick enough, which, he was able to draw a block and foul. I'm not going to blame it on him just because, God gave him those physical attributes, but he just has to slide his feet just a tad bit quicker. That's a weird, awkward shot. The feet weren't set right there. Okay, buddy. This is where I kind of have to get on you just because it's not going to cut it. It's 5'9". This is not going to cut it. This is called doing too much. Let's see if he finishes. He's lucky he didn't finish, but realistically, there was no need to do a little spin move right here. Just catch it, view your options. Like, you see how he's already putting the ball down right when he gets it? You need to sometimes you just need to grab it and look first. And he didn't even have to do a spin move right here. He could have just went straight ahead. I don't really know why he does a spin move. That's a little too much in my opinion, but, I guess they're trying to play fast pace, so he's trying to get it out. That was a tough layup right there. He finishes pretty well for his size. Can't even lie about that. Tough pass. Wow, that was the most insane flop ever. But he was late to the screen was late, so I have to agree with that flop. He didn't have to fall like that, but that flop was actually, you know, it was a flop. That's great defense. That's good team defense. That was tough. That was tough. Can't even hold you. Nah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Number 11 will probably end up being one of the better players on this team, just because look at his physical gifts. But you know, Isaac Hayes looks like the best overall player, to be honest. That's tough. That's tough. That's a great move. It's good to have a go-to move like that as a big, you know. Pound spin. Goes to it again. See if the door is open. That's tough. All bigs should do this, bro. If you have 1 feet in the paint, or if you're going into the paint and you're backing somebody down, in this example, he didn't really do it. But for example, though, you always want to make sure, you know, he drives this way. But what I'm really saying is, like, you see how he spins right here? This is called trying to see if the door is open. Imagine if there was a door right here, okay? You always want to see if you can push that door open. And in this case, he does. And he doesn't do it really smoothly, but I think the problem was because he didn't drag it down a little bit. If he drove it down a little bit more and he checked and spun to see if this door was open, it would have looked cleaner. But just imagine there's a door right here. That should always be your first one. If it's not open, you could do a shimmy, go back the other way. In this case, you know, he was fighting to get that door open, but he still got it, so. Bad turnover right there. Number 2 looked good out there, I can't even lie. I was about to say, if he yammed that, good block. I'm telling you, 11 got, he's lengthy, bro. That helps, that helps. Do your job, bro. I don't think your job's to shoot. This gotta be a JV team, bro. No, it can't be. I was about to say, bro. You know, they just got back in the game, so let's see how Isaac Hayes can handle the pressure, you know. Intense game, so. Is that your shot? I guess it is. That's just tough. That was tough. The headsy right there, playing with the big man, eh? He getting in that mode. Tough. In and out. That's a foul. There you go. That patience. This is baby food now. Baby food. Baby food. Come on. Don't make a jump pass. That's not your bag. I was lucky. I mean, the black team really had, a lot of momentum, but they're not really getting the job done right now. They're playing too soft on defense, letting Duncanville get whatever they're getting. There's no really stop. There's no really clash on, the defensive side. The lead is now 9, but it was 3, so. That's a bad turnover. Come on now. Come on now. Don't get your hand in the cookie jar, bro. This is not good. Snatched, slippy, try to hand check to get yourself in a better defensive position, but he draws that foul. It's tough. Looks like there's a slippery spot right there, eh? That was a deep shot. Is that your bag? Deuce Hunt, watch this bag. Is that your bag? Yeah, I realize. Is that your bag? Yeah, they just getting everything now. Black is playing desperate, They're going to try to press. They're going to double team. They're going to do all that. Oof. Hey, this court looks slippery, bro. That could have been a torn ACL. Good defense. Wow. Man, what the frick? Even if you already lost the game, I'm not gonna lie to you, shooting those 2 threes is not gonna, tell the coach, yeah, he can shoot. Alrighty. W video. Not gonna lie, I'll link it down in the description. But hey, Isaac Hayes, he started off slow, but he looked better. Looked better as the game went on, so I can't even say anything. But defensively, I think he could do a little bit better just because, you know, there was a point in time in the video where he would be helping. I didn't say it, but he didn't look actively and engaged. And if you want to be a good player, he's already small. You want to stick out, be good on defense. That's something that anybody can work on. That's an effort thing, not a skill thing. So if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, share this with a friend if they want to get better. And I'm always here to make y'all get better. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.